Jai Bharat. Welcome everyone to Advaitachievers. Pranam to all of you, as I believe Vidyarthi Devo Bhava. So in this segment, children, we are going to talk about few methods of contraception. Again, we repeat, what is contraceptive? Contraceptive is a device or a drug which is used to prevent pregnancy. And the method which we are going to discuss today, right, that is, say, firstly, the natural methods which are there, right? Natural methods mean what? That is, here there is not any requirement of using a device or a drug or say some medicine. So there's not going to be any side effect, but yes, the chances of failure of this method is very high, right? So again, natural method which is there, they are of three kinds. Let us talk about the first one, that is the safe period or rhythm method. You all have learnt about the menstrual cycle and you know that which day the egg is going to be released. So it is usually what we know that ovulation occurs around the 14th day of the menstrual cycle. So before that, if there is a sexual intercourse, then it's going to be safe, right? Because वो egg तो अभी release ही नहीं हुआ है, उस side तो release ही नहीं हुआ है, तो fertilization के तो कोई chance ही नहीं है, correct? But after ovulation, means once that egg has been released, right, we know it remains in the fallopian tube for 48 hours. So you can say that the fertility period which is there is up to 48 hours after ovulation. So during this period, if there is an unsafe sex इसलिए बोल रहे हैं हम क्योंकि कोई contraceptive device use अगर नहीं होता, then there are chances that that egg may get fertilized, right? So one should avoid sex. Avoiding sex during the fertility period will naturally prevent conception. That is, as I said, that period prior to ovulation is safe. But however, it is always better to avoid the sex from day 12 to 17 of the menstrual cycle. क्योंकि किसी की साइकिल कई बार कंप्लीट 28 डेज का रूटीन नहीं फॉलो कर रही होती, किसी की थोड़ी लंबी साइकिल होती है, किसी की थोड़ी सी कम होती है. इट वेरीज फ्रॉम इंडिविजुअल टू इंडिविजुअल, राइट? तो बाई चांस देयर इज अ डिस्टर्बेंस इन दैट, सो इट इज बेटर टू अवॉइड sex from the day 12 to day 17 of the menstrual cycle. So this is known as the safe period, utilizing the safe period, or called rhythm method. Okay, the next one, the next method under natural methods, of course, is withdrawal method, or it is also called coitus interruptus. This what does this mean? Interruptus, there is a spelling error over here. Kindly make it coitus interruptus. It is TUS has to be there. Okay, fine. Yeah, so coitus interruptus. It is the withdrawal of the penis from the vagina before ejaculation, right? Before the semen gets ejected, if the penis is withdrawn from the vagina, naturally the semen is not going to be deposited in the vagina, so it will not lead to fertilization. But this method has high failure rate due to pre-ejaculatory release of sperms, right? Then next comes is lactational amenorrhea. Lactational amenorrhea is, say, a period when there is intense lactation. बच्चा अगर feed कर रहा है mother's milk पे, तो उस duration के तक जो mother है वो उसकी menstrual cycle चालू नहीं होती है, right? So if the menstrual cycle is not there, ovulation नहीं हो रहा है, right, then naturally she is not going to conceive, right? So just after parturition there is a phase of amenorrhea, right, or you can say absence of menstruation. And this method is based on the fact that during intense lactation there is no menstrual cycle and no ovulation. But again, see, this method is however effective only up to a maximum period of 6 months, and that too if the lactation is intense. So जरूरी नहीं है कि अगर बच्चा फीड कर रहा है मदर्स मिल्क पे, तो मदर इज नॉट गोइंग टू गेट इनटू मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल. कई बार ये 6 महीने तक भी नहीं चलता. इट इज जस्ट द मेंस्ट्रुएशन बिगिंस जस्ट आफ्टर से 1 or 2 months ऑफ पार्चुरेशन. जरूरी नहीं है, बिकॉज इट ऑल डिपेंड्स ऑन द काइंड ऑफ फूड एंड ऑल वी आर कंज्यूमिंग. ओके, सो this method is not that effective, right? So this was the first natural method where we are not using any kind of a contraceptive device or any drug or anything, right? So that is termed as natural method. Now we are coming to the next, that is called as the barrier method. Now barrier, what is a barrier? So these are mechanical devices, okay, which prevent the deposition of sperms into the vagina and their passage to the uterus. So further, they can be self-inserted by the user in complete privacy. They are available for males as well as females. दोनों के लिए ये devices available होते हैं. Spermicidal creams, jellies are also used along with the barrier method to increase their contraceptive efficiency. The common barrier methods are condoms, diaphragm, यहाँ पे comma आना चाहिए, there is a error. So they are condoms, diaphragms, Fern shield. Fern shield is a kind, you can say, a condom which is used for the females, that is a Fern shield, and cervical cap. Okay, so let's say condom. इसका ad आपने TV में, it's pretty common coming up in the TV, so most of you must have seen the ads. Okay, so male condom is a tubular latex or rubber sheath which is rolled over the penis during sex, because penis is actually the copulatory organ, correct? So it is rolled over that so that it prevents the entry of sperms into the vagina of the female, right? The common brand provided by Family Welfare Services is Nirod. This is that government wala thing. Okay. Female condoms, as I said, no, they're Fern shields. Are polyurethane pouches which are used to cover the external genitalia, the cervix or the vagina, right? These devices, what they do? They prevent the entry of sperms and hence prevent fertilization. They also provide protection against STDs, including AIDS, right? Because you never know if the person has got some infection. Because of that contagiousness, that touch creates the passage of that pathogen into the female body as well. Or even if the female has got a disease, then it can transfer to the male. So if some contraceptive device like condom is being used, it helps in protection against STDs. And not only AIDS, there are so many other STDs. We are going to learn about that in this chapter later on. The next is diaphragm. It is a tubular rubber sheath, okay, with a flexible metal ring at the margin which is fitted inside the vagina. क्योंकि उसका rim होना ज़रूरी है ताकि वो वहाँ रह के fit हो. It should not slip down, correct? So this is what diaphragm is. Yeah. The next that we need to talk. So the next device that we are talking about is a cervical cap. Now what is a cervical cap? It is a rubber nipple which is fitted over the cervix and designed to remain there by suction. वो वहीं का वहीं रहना चाहिए. जैसे मैंने आगे भी बोला था slip नहीं होना चाहिए, वैसे यहाँ पे भी the same thing is applicable. This device prevents the entry of sperms into the uterus because it is to be fit in the cervix region, right? The next one is known as a Volt cap. Volt cap is a dome-like rubber or plastic cap with a thick rim which is meant for fitting over the vaginal vault over the cervix, right? So these are the various devices we have talked about. In the next video, we will continue to talk about the other methods of contraception. I hope all of you have followed it well. Thank you and Jai Bharat.